The rookie, the high roller, the grease man, the basher, the eye in the sky, the getaway, the bankroll, the inside man, the detail man, the idea man, the getaway. Connect and tell me the significance. This is the audience question for today, the 129th episode of Are You Quizzing Me, your favorite quizzing and trivia podcast show. Cue the music. Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I am Vineet Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show. Join us as we dive deep into history, science, pop culture, and so much more. Let's get quizzing. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 129 of Are You Quizzing Me? What you heard earlier was the audience question for today's episode, which I will answer at the end of the episode. Stay tuned and try to figure out the answer by the end. So, Aditya, how are you doing?
I am recovering. Happy that I'm recovering and feeling better. I am sorry for our listeners that I am no longer tripping on painkillers and hence indulging in rabbit holes. But never fear. I feel like injuries are part and parcel of life, and this will happen again. And I'll be back on painkillers. So, a rabbit hole is never too far away.
Okay, Aditya, I have a few cracker questions today ready for you. Shall I do the honors?
Please proceed.
So, this is a fantastic piece of trivia which I found. An Irish geologist who spent much of his career in India by the name of Henry Benedict Medlicott co-authored one of the earliest authoritative works on Indian geology. In the 19th century, he introduced the term X to describe a distinctive fossil-rich geological belt in India, known especially for its ancient coal-bearing formations. The name X was taken from an indigenous people who inhabit this region of central India. Decades later, the same term became the linguistic and scientific foundation for Y, a much larger geological idea that reshaped how scientists understood Earth's ancient past. The link between the two lies in location. Some of the earliest rock formations associated with Y were first studied within the regions that gave rise to the name X, particularly in areas that today fall within Odisha, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh. I'm giving you a clue here itself. I want you to identify X and Y and tell me, where does SS Rajamouli figure among all of this?
Ooh, interesting. Rajamouli's latest piece of news, I guess, from him or related to him has been his film that he is doing, which is the globe-spanning and time-spanning epic, which is like Globetrotter, Time Trotter or something.
Varanasi. The movie's name is Varanasi.
That's the one. I think it features, if I'm not wrong, it features the Antarctic Ross ice shelf. It has some part of the, is it Serengeti or some
the savannah?
Savannah grassland area. It also features the battle in Ramayana, but that would be Sri Lanka. That wouldn't be in central India. I don't remember what other locations are there. But okay, going off of, you mentioned Madhya Pradesh. The Deccan would be my first guess, something to do with Deccan.
But that's a given. I already told you central India and Odisha, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh and also. Then I think that's a given.
No, I was wondering if the word Deccan has anything to do with any of it.
No, the word Deccan does not have anything to do with it. And you were very cold with all your musings about Rajamouli.
You could have stopped me. You didn't have to let me globetrot.
I could have, but I did not. So now the clue that I'm going to give you is both X and Y technically were actually the same. The names were the same. But then the term Y is specifically expanded a little bit by most people so that they can differentiate between X and Y, because both of them are completely different things. X is a particular region.
Okay.
Y is a kind of huge geological idea. Initially, X was Y.
Okay.
Even today, many people interchangeably use X and Y. But the specific term Y that I'm looking for is what is used by researchers to describe that idea, that particular location, and differentiate it from X.
Y is a geological idea?
I don't want to say geological idea. It's a concept. It's something that existed in the geological past for which we have given a name.
The drift, the continental drift. I'm thinking India, the subcontinent drifting towards the Asian plate.
Okay. Slightly warm.
Okay.
I wouldn't say very warm, but slightly warm.
Okay. Tectonics, plate tectonics, and all these have, as far as I know, Indian origins or etymology or anything related to India.
Mm-hmm.
X is a geographical region and Y is a concept or an idea or a theory or whatever.
Not a theory, it's something that existed.
And X used to be Y.
The names, basically.
And now people have appended something to Y.
Yes. So the idea or Y came about because of what they found in the region of X.
Is this just what happens at episode 129? Like, we just make things so convoluted.
The thing is, there is no way I can give you this without kind of giving it away a little bit. But let me just clarify again if you're in doubt. X is a location or an area in India.
Okay.
Y is something in the geological past.
Okay.
Y was originally named the exact same as X.
Stop repeating yourself. I'll throw your answer right back at you. You know what the answer to this question is? X is a geographical area. Y is a geographical concept. X used to be named Y, but then to differentiate it, Y was appended with something. Oh my God. Okay, fine. The Rajamouli is somehow involved in all of this.
Yes, I would suggest go through the Rajamouli clue. That might make it easier. Because there are certain things I mentioned here which might lead you to an answer.
Bahubali, RRR, and now Varanasi. Does it have anything to do with any of Rajamouli's filmography, or is it something to do with life but not his films?
Filmography. I wouldn't expect you to know anything about his personal life. It's obviously his filmography. I guarantee you've seen this film, and I've hidden clues in between here and there, which should, if you...
I can tell you I've not seen most of Rajamouli's films. You know what? I think I've not seen a single one of his films.
What? This entire question was dependent on you having seen it, so I could lead you to the answer.
I've not seen Bahubali, I've not seen RRR, and any of his previous films, though. Yeah, definitely not seen.
Oh my God. And you call yourself a film lover?
I want to watch it. It's just that it wasn't in theaters when I wanted to go watch it.
Yeah. There is no such thing as streaming anymore, you know.
Hey, listen, a lot of people told me that Bahubali, RRR, all of these films are best appreciated on the big screen. Well, okay, whatever. So I have not seen any of these films.
Okay.
But I do know the broad concept, I guess.
Okay. Then I'm going to tell you which movie, so then you figure out from your broad concept.
Okay.
RRR.
Oh my God. Is it Natu Natu by any chance? I've seen that video quite a few times.
Oh God. Okay. My entire question was predicated on being able to guide you through this thing through RRR so I could get you to the answer. But since that's not happening, I think we'll stop wasting time and I will tell you the answer.
No. You know what? I can try this.
Okay. I'm going to give you a giveaway clue. The idea that this thing named was a supercontinent.
Okay. I was thinking of Pangea, but Pangea is...
It's not Pangea.
Then there's Gondwana land.
Thank you. It is Gondwana land.
Okay.
And Gondwana. So X is Gondwana. Y is Gondwana land. You can technically call the supercontinent Gondwana, but because they wanted to differentiate between the region in India, which is called Gondwana, and the supercontinent, many researchers now call it Gondwana land for the supercontinent. Now, for the benefit of our audience who have been patiently listening while Aditya trudged his way through quicksand, let me put everything into perspective. Henry Benedict Medlicott coined Gondwana. Gondwana refers to a Permian coal-bearing stratigraphic region in India named after the Gond people. They are a tribe, indigenous tribe called the Gonds, who inhabit central India's basins. The continent of Gondwana or Gondwana land was named by Austrian scientist Eduard Suez after the Indian region of the same name, which derived its name from Sanskrit.
Oh.
It was Gondwan, as in forest of the Gonds.
Ooh.
So Gondwan became Gondwana, which became Gondwana land.
Wow.
The earliest Gondwana rocks were found and studied in mostly India, which is why this connection was made from Gondwana to Gondwana land.
Okay.
Now, since you've not seen RRR, this will make absolutely zero sense to you, but to the rest of the normal people listening to this podcast, this is the connection to RRR. The Gond people depicted in RRR, which is an SS Rajamouli film of 2022, as the Adivasi tribe of Komuram Bhim, played by Junior NTR or NT Ramarao Jr.
Mhm.
And the rescued girl, the person whose plight leads to the entire plot happening, Malli, she's also a Gond. They are the Gonds of central or southern India.
Mhm.
The same Gond tribe, the region that they lived in, gave rise to the Sanskrit name Gondwan, which gave rise to the name Gondwana, and from there to the supercontinent Gondwana land.
Hmm. That's pretty cool.
Now, if you had watched the movie, you would be like, "Oh, mind blown!" But this is just hopeless. Why do I even?
Mind is still blown. Mind is still blown.
No more South Indian movie connections for you.
To be fair, I think it's a genre of film that doesn't really appeal to me as much.
Dude, James Cameron loves his movies.
I don't like James Cameron films either. I have not gone and watched the new Avatars.
Okay, the Avatars, everybody makes shit movies when they get older. But come on, Terminator 2, Judgment Day,
Fair.
True Lies,
Okay.
The Abyss,
Good films. I'm saying his recent...
Titanic.
I think Titanic is a little overrated, to be very honest.
Okay, I won't disagree with you there, but still.
Other films great. I think his larger-than-life films epics have always kind of bored me a little.
What about True Lies?
I have not seen True Lies.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Today's homework for you is to go and watch True Lies, one of the greatest action comedy spy thrillers ever made.
True Lies it is.
I can watch it today and it still holds up. Please, I am begging you, haath jodta hu. Please watch that movie.
Oh, I will abide by this.
As usual, empty words, Aditya, empty words.
Hey, listen. I don't like this tone of judgment, okay? There's supposed to be an inclusive space. We do this trivia without any timer, without any preset format, just because we like to ensure that when the other person is a fool like me, they don't feel bad about it.
You should consider that this is a podcast where we actually give pop culture recommendations.
I think my pop culture recommendations are things I truly believe in. And then there are some things that are not everybody's cup of tea. Listen, if you don't like the things that
you wouldn't know unless you
them,
watch it.
Fine. Okay, I'll watch True Lies. I'll also watch RRR. I'll definitely watch Bahubali. I will watch KGF at some point as well.
No, like KGF, I don't think you'll like. I don't think you'll like KGF, so I'm not telling you to watch. Like, I enjoyed the movie, but I don't think you'll like it.
All of these movies, fantastic soundtracks. Okay, I've heard all the songs. I've watched the music videos. Great soundtracks. Phenomenal dancing. Like Natu, I mean, come on. Like, I learned the choreography because it is just so good. But the movies, yeah, not my instinct to go watch them. But I respect your choice in films, so I'll at some point watch it, and I'll credit you for encouraging me.
How is it that we've been doing this podcast for 3 years and I didn't know that you never watched Bahubali or RRR or any of the Rajamouli movies?
I don't talk about it because I feel like I'll get judged for it.
Have you seen Rowdy Rathod?
No, I've not.
Okay.
It's a genre of films that I just don't care for too much.
Yeah.
Okay. Having embarrassed myself, I'm going to move on to something that is potentially embarrassing to someone else entirely.
Okay.
And using geography as a jumping off point.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of the current geopolitics. I mean, you would have to be living under a rock to not know that the US is trying to some way get their hands on Greenland.
I'm aware.
So you know that. This is not the first time that they have expressed in acquiring Greenland. US has had at multiple points of time wanted to expand their territories. There have been very famous acquisitions, sometimes through war, sometimes through monetary transactions where America has acquired land. One of the most recent permanent expansions of the United States territory was when Denmark itself sold some land in the world to the US in exchange for the US not showing too much more interest in Greenland. This was the last time that Denmark was like, hey, listen, buddy, relax, okay? We're going to give you this thing which will hopefully make up for not having Greenland. Oh my God, Vineet is already cracking his knuckles. He knows where this is going. This is not going to be an Rajamouli moment. So, the first part of the question is, what was sold to the US the last time that Denmark was like, bro, get off our back. We don't want to give you Greenland.
This would be Jeffrey Epstein's Sex Island.
Oh my God, that was both my questions combined into one. Very nice. This is, as you are obviously aware, Jeffrey Epstein's island is part of what was then known as the Danish West Indies. And this was sold to the United States for a grand total sum of $25 million in gold, which would be $722 million after accounting for inflation. And this treaty was in 1916, so more than 100 years ago.
Okay.
More than 100 years ago, they sold this part to the US to get them off their back, not come after them for Greenland. The US took it. It was one of the last, or rather more recent, permanent expansions of United States territory, which became the US Virgin Islands. Now, US Virgin Islands obviously has a bunch of islands in it. One of them, more recently in the news because of Jeffrey Epstein, the sex offender who killed himself allegedly while incarcerated. And that was the hub of all of his illicit illegal activities and doings and wrongdoings. And Epstein Island it just feels like it doesn't leave Trump.
Oh, no.
Just one way or the other, that man just comes back to that.
Okay. So, thanks to the SS Rajamouli's, I don't know. I want to connect this to SS Rajamouli for anything and everything today so that I can...
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't think this is a good connection to make to Rajamouli.
Oh, no.
Poor man. Don't do that.
No. Okay. Thanks to the cinema god that he has answered my prayers. I knew the answer to the question.
Again, why would you want to connect somebody you like to Epstein Island and Trump and idiocies of that nature?
Okay. Speaking of cinema gods, this is something that's definitely not a cinema god related question, but chalo. X, the actor who ultimately brought the character Y to life, was not the original choice for the role. Interestingly, Amitabh Bachchan played a significant, though indirect, role in the creation of the character Y. The character's very name echoes the titles of one of Bachchan's films, while Y's personality and visual style drew inspiration from The Great Gambler, in which the late Sujit Kumar portrayed a comparable Italian character. I want you to identify the actor X, who's praised for his comic timing, and name the character Y.
All right, so let me get that straight. You mentioned that this is a character that was inspired by Amitabh Bachchan's movie. The name is inspired by Amitabh Bachchan's movie title?
The character is Y, the actor is X. The character's name was inspired, or basically it echoes one of Amitabh's films.
Okay.
And Y's personality, the character's personality and visual style drew inspiration from a character in The Great Gambler, played by Sujit Kumar.
Another film that I've not seen.
I think you might have seen this. I've not seen this film.
No, I meant Great Gambler I've not seen.
Oh, okay.
But any case, Amitabh Bachchan film that inspired the title, is that a famous film or is it not a very famous?
Decently famous. I've heard of it. Even though I've not seen it, I've heard of it.
Okay, give me a time frame for the Y film or the Y character film.
So the film that the character Y first appeared in was 2010.
First appeared in. So are you implying that this character has appeared multiple times in films?
Maybe.
Character appeared in a 2010 film and potentially has appeared multiple times.
Like I mentioned, the character's personality and visual style was inspired from The Great Gambler, in which Sujit Kumar portrayed an Italian character.
So is this character vaguely European or Italian or something like that?
There is a connection, I think. At least I have not watched the movie, so I don't know. I think I watched the first one, but I can't for the life of me remember the plot. And I've never watched it a second time, and I never felt the need to watch it again. I have vague memories of doing it, but it's not one of the movies that stuck.
This is a comedy character? Like it's a comedy film? Did you say some comic timing thing?
Yes. It is a comedy character.
I'm assuming it's a Hindi film, right?
It is a Hindi film.
Bollywood film, 2010, comedy, vaguely European or maybe Italian, has appeared multiple times. The name is inspired by an Amitabh Bachchan film.
A 1986 Amitabh Bachchan film.
Oh, okay. 1986. I know more of his 70s films. No idea at all.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue. Like I already kind of indirectly mentioned, this character has appeared in multiple films.
Mhm.
Again, I don't want to get flagged for this because I've not watched the movies. But from what I could understand, while each movie had some of the same actors, all their names used to get changed from movie to movie. However, this actor portrayed a character by the same name in
Is it
all
one
of
of
them.
those Houseful or something like that?
Very good. It is the Houseful movies. So, which character am I talking about?
Yeah, I've not seen a single one of those either. I've not seen a single one of those either.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. So this is awkward. I've not seen it either. So, but I really liked the trivia portion of it.
Okay.
So then it's going to be difficult for you to answer it. The answer was Chunky Pandey.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's been in the films. Yeah.
Yes. And the character's name is Akhri Pasta.
I don't care for this piece of trivia. I don't care for those movies.
Listen to this. Listen to this. So Chunky Pandey was not the original choice for the role. Director Sajid Khan initially was supposed to play the character himself, but then he realized that he couldn't direct and act in the film. So he approached Chunky Pandey and offered him the role. Both the name and persona of Akhri Pasta were directly inspired by Amitabh Bachchan films. The name Akhri Pasta rhymes directly with Amitabh Bachchan's 1986 film Akhri Rasta.
Beautiful. Akhri pasta, akhri rasta. Like that's poetry. That's poetry. Like who is Rajamouli? Honestly,
Yes.
chill with your grand epics. And also, can I just point out? You said at some point Sajid Khan thought that if, and I quote, he acts in the film, he will not be able to direct it. Let me just clarify. I have not seen the films, but going by whatever I have seen of it, not like he directed the hell out of it because he was not acting in it.
No, but it is, I think, the highest grossing comedy series of Indian cinema.
Okay, fair enough. Because I think the most recent one just came out. Because I would imagine something like Golmaal, it has also had multiple outings that would probably have earned a fair bit. Rohit Shetty films usually do okay. But yeah, this has been a few more than that. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Say what you will about him, but he's laughing all the way to the bank. Anyway, going back to this, the character's appearance, clothing, and mannerisms were inspired by Marconi, the Italian character played by the late Sujit Kumar in The Great Gambler. This is apparently the character that has appeared through all 5 films. And when I was going through the Wikipedia credits, apparently in one movie he's credited as Akhri Pasta / Pehla Pasta.
Double role, I'm guessing.
So I'm confused, but I don't want to clear the confusion by actually watching the movie.
Yeah, why would you? Also, you know what? I'm not giving Sajid Khan enough credit. You said Marconi, which kind of sounds like macaroni.
Oh God.
Which is a kind of pasta. So I believe this all ties together in the Houseful cinematic universe.
Okay, so it was an interesting piece of trivia. I really like the Akhri Pasta pun, and I thought you would enjoy it.
You know what? If it was not associated to the Houseful films, I would have appreciated it.
Okay.
No shade to anybody who likes them. You like what you like. But God, oh my God, they just seem so annoying, all of them. You know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's move on.
Yeah, move on. Okay, hit me with your best shot.
All right, Vineet, we're doing a list. And this is a non-exhaustive list.
Oh God, I hate you.
Tell me, how are these words connected? Flip, ding, tick, hip.
Flip, tick, ding, and hip.
Yes.
I want to say all of them have 4 letters. No, hip does not have 4 letters. Oh, I've embarrassed myself. At least 3 of them have 4 letters. I have no clue. Where is this going? Give me a context, na.
The fun part about this piece of trivia is that it is one of those things that is pervasive in our day-to-day life, and yet we are not aware of it, okay? And it has to do with the word itself, the language, English language.
Flip, hip, bing, and pig. Right.
Correct.
Isn't there like a surgical flip procedure called the Bing flip or something? I don't know.
Again, it's literally language. It isn't anything to do with medicine, with science, with pop culture. None of those things. Literally language, the English language.
And it's a non-exhaustive list, you said.
Yes.
Something to do with onomatopoeia?
The sound of it in a way, yes, yeah.
Bing. All of them are like one syllable. Is that it?
The syllable part of it is important, yes.
Something related to onomatopoeia, and it's also with the number of syllables. So something the way it sounds like.
Mhm.
Clue, please.
You know what? Let's just break down what this is. There is a concept X in languages in general. In the English language, there is a version of X that all English speakers use or abide by in a way. There are other versions of it in other languages, especially South Asian languages. So X has a version of it in South Asian languages that pretty much is pervasive across India, across all the multiple languages that are spoken across India. You who are more familiar with the South Indian languages would also employ it in a slightly different way. And I, more familiar with North Indian languages, more familiar with Hindi, would employ it in a slightly different way. But these are all versions of X. This concept X that applies to languages in general, the version of it in question that is relevant to the list is what is used in English language. There is another version of it that is used in South Asian languages, Indian languages specifically, but I think other languages too.
Would this apply to other Romance languages like French?
I am not too sure. I have only seen this in the context of English. I don't think it would apply to French, but hey, any French speakers out there, feel free to correct me.
Initially, I thought it might be the fact that words have gender, but English languages don't usually do that.
Yeah.
Words in general, as part of grammar, do not have gender.
I love that concept because I think there has been a study about how languages which assign a gender to certain nouns, which are not biologically gendered, like a bridge, right, or a road, if your language assigns gender to it, the adjectives associated to that noun would become more feminine in nature or masculine in nature. I think the example was bridge, and I'm forgetting what are the two languages in question, but in one of them it's a masculine word and in another it's a feminine word. So in the masculine language, the bridge would be defined as strong, majestic or something like those would be the adjectives. Whereas in the feminine language, it would be beautiful or feminine sounding adjectives. So it's very interesting how language changes how you look at even nouns in question. But not the thing in our question here.
Okay. South Asian languages, something similar but different. It's the way we say something, right?
I said syllables are important. You pointed something out to do with syllables. I said syllables are important.
Yeah.
Literally the vowels in that.
The vowels, all of them have just I. Oh, I is pronounced as in all of this?
That would be a very broad thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a specific usage where I changes, let's say that. What if I was to substitute I?
You want to substitute I in flip, 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 flip.
Why are you repeating the words?
Flap, flip, flop.
Okay, let me make it even simpler. What if I was to repeat the word?
Ding, ding, flip, flip, hip, hip. Okay, you repeat them and you have like hip, hip, hooray and ding, ding, winner, winner, chicken dinner, something like that.
And flip, flip?
I don't know. There must be something.
I also mentioned changing the vowel, right?
Okay, I'm so confused here right now. Change the vowel, but then repeat the word.
Literally just spelled out my answer.
Flip flop.
Yeah. Just follow that through.
Flip flop, ding dong, hip hop. Oh God. What was the fourth one?
TikTok.
TikTok. Okay. Yeah.
So, here's the idea. Reduplication. Have you heard of the word reduplication?
Ha, we do it in Hindi also, no? Party shati.
So, reduplication is very simple. It's just repeating the word as is, right? Like bye bye.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
As you mentioned, in the South Asian languages, in Indian languages, there is the party shati. I think there is something like that in Tamil as well. But in any case, there are quite a few Indian languages. I think there is a version of that in Punjabi. And it changes slightly, where it might be a substitution with whatever the first consonant is. It might change to a v or a sh in the reduplication. That's called echo reduplication.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not the question. The question was about English. In English, there is a rule that has to do with reduplication. This specific type of reduplication is called the ablaut reduplication. Do you want to take a guess as to what ablaut reduplication is?
Whatever I just said earlier, flip-flop, that's the thing. That's the thing we're talking about.
What does it? Yeah, very good. You're not gonna give me an answer by giving me examples. You'd be marked down in your 10th board exams if you did that, Vineet.
Okay, so I'm guessing that when the second word, the vowel has to be changed to the succeeding vowel or something like that.
Close enough, so I'll just tell you what it is. There is an order in which that you can repeat these words. So I will always have to be the first vowel and the second one can be O. That's why it would never make sense to call it dong ding, talk tick.
Okay.
Even though essentially these are words when repeated often enough sound same thing. But there is a pattern to it. It's one of those things. Have you heard of the order of adjectives? There is a certain rule in English for that as well.
Yes.
All English speakers abide by, where again I'm forgetting what the exact one is, but the size and then followed by color and then followed by where it is from. So
Yeah.
you'll say it's a blue German car, right? You'll not say it's a German blue car. Like that would sound weird.
Yeah.
Most English speakers do it without realizing it. And the same thing with ablaut reduplication as well, which I thought was very interesting, that you would say jibber jabber, you would never ever say jabber jibber. And then across all of these reduplications that exist in English, which change the vowel slightly, it'll always be a pattern which follows I, A, and O. So if there are three words which are repeating, it'll always be I, A, O. If not, it'll be I, O or A, O.
Okay.
And so on and so forth. So splish, splash.
Okay.
It will never be splash, splish. Because I has to be followed by A, has to be followed by O.
Okay. Just tell me the order of those vowels again.
I don't know why it was only for these three vowels that I found most articles speaking of, but it said I, A, O. I can't think of examples where E or U is used. But in any case, it is I, A, O. Which is also interesting because to an English speaker, you will have all sorts of words, right? Chit chat, crisscross, dilly dally, fiddle faddle, flim flam. Flim flam, both these words individually don't really mean anything. But together, they sound reasonable to an English speaker because of this particular unspoken rule. It's all very interesting. And of course, the most famous example in pop culture of that is King Kong. It would not have made sense to call it Kong King.
Very true. Okay, so now I know what an obligate replication is.
You do.
So I'm going to take you far away from all of that. I'm going to take you into the world of a mockumentary, which has featured on this podcast before.
Lovely.
This is Spinal Tap. We've discussed it on the podcast, I think, many episodes before. But have you seen the particular mockumentary?
Even more disappointed in the fact that another film I've not seen, and also the maker of the film passed away recently. But great film from what I know.
Fair enough. You haven't seen the film because I'm going to tell you about it.
Perfect.
For those who don't know, This is Spinal Tap is a mock documentary or mockumentary about a fading British heavy metal band called Spinal Tap. It follows them on a disastrous American comeback tour. The film follows the clueless band members as shrinking audiences, botched stage props, clashing egos, interfering girlfriends. They all kind of wreak havoc on the tour, while they remain convinced of their own greatness. The movie ends with the group improbably getting a second life when they become unexpectedly popular in Japan. The movie features a running gag where the band's drummers die in increasingly bizarre and absurd ways. John Stumpy Pepys died in a bizarre gardening accident that authorities deemed it best be left unsolved. Eric Stumpy Joe Childs choked on somebody else's vomit. Peter James Bond spontaneously combusted on stage at a blues festival, leaving behind only a green stain.
Oh God. What?
The current drummer, Mick Shrimpton, meets the same explosive fate during the film's climax, perpetuating the curse.
Okay.
So now you have an idea what the movie is about and the running gag in the movie.
Okay.
The movie and this running gag inspired a major plot point in a very large popular culture phenomenon. What did it inspire?
Well, because you spoke of the drummer dying in increasingly bizarre ways, I can only think of another character who dies all the time, and that is South Park Kenny.
Oh, no. Good guess, but no, it's not South Park Kenny.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, well, Kenny is known to frequently die, especially in the earlier seasons, in very, very strange ways. But does it have to do with the character that dies or characters that have died multiple times, or is it something else?
So it's not just dying, it's just unfortunate things happening.
But has this character died in the span of this whatever pop culture thing is, movie, series, whatever it is, book?
Only one of them has died.
Okay.
No, actually, two of them have died. Two of them have died.
Okay.
If memory serves me right.
I thought I nailed it with Kenny, but if not Kenny...
Oh, it's something you know much better than Kenny.
I think if anything this episode has proven is the fact that you don't know what I know. You're making wild assumptions about things I know.
I absolutely know that you know this.
All right, let's just do process of elimination. Is it a TV show? Is it a movie?
Yes.
Okay, TV show and a movie.
I'm being a little facetious there. I could technically provide a clarification, but I'm not going to because you're not technically wrong. Neither am I technically wrong when I said yes.
Okay.
This pop culture thing spans much more than movies and or a TV show.
Oh, okay. Is it Deadpool?
Oh, it's not. It's not. I will give you one more clue. Let me rephrase one part of the question. I mentioned that this movie and this running gag inspired something, a major plot point in a very large and very popular pop culture phenomenon. I'm going to rephrase that and say that it inspired something, a major plot point in an IP which was the basis for the 9th highest grossing media franchise in the world.
9th highest grossing media franchise. This is not James Bond, right?
No.
But also this Spinal Tap is after the James Bond novel, so it doesn't make sense. Is it Harry Potter?
Let's assume that you're right and it's Harry Potter. What plot point did this inspire?
Oh my god. Is it the Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers?
Exactly.
Wow.
For all you Harry Potter nerds, the answer is that according to J.K. Rowling, the curse of the Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers was inspired by Spinal Tap drummers dying in bizarre circumstances. And she's explicitly stated this. This is not a conspiracy theory. She's explicitly stated this, that this was her inspiration, that every Hogwarts DA professor suffers misfortune or quitting before the year's end. If you look at it, Quirrell was possessed and killed by Voldemort, 91-92. Lockhart was obliviated by his own spell, which backfired on him, 92-93. Lupin was exposed werewolf and had to resign, 93-94. Moody was impersonated and kidnapped, 94-95. Umbridge was attacked by centaurs in 95-96. And Snape was basically then became, actually he did progress from being the DA professor to the principal. So technically no misfortune happened to him while he was in the post. But he ended up dead at the hands of Nagini. That is in 96-97.
True. The 7th book one also died during the Battle of Hogwarts, if I'm not wrong. The teacher who was
Yeah. I think it was the Carrows, I think it was.
One of the Carrows who had made it, instead of DA, it was just dark arts. They were just teaching the kids dark arts, making them try the Cruciatus curse on each other and stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Harry Potter sticks with you.
Do you know the origin of the curse?
Oh yeah, the origin I remember. It's because Voldemort wanted it and Dumbledore turned him down. So
yes,
Dumbledore has never found another person who could stick with it. I assume once Voldemort died, the curse lifted.
Yes.
You would imagine. But I have to ask the canon head.
Yeah, she keeps changing things, so we're not very exactly be sure about anything.
Not currently also very popular.
For all the wrong reasons.
But wow, that's pretty cool. I love that. And because at least the Harry Potter thing is obviously iconic. Everybody knows that. And I didn't know it comes from this presumably great movie, which I've not seen. Yeah,
it is very funny.
I think it had a sequel also, which came out last year.
I've not watched the sequel.
Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, the 2025 American mockumentary comedy film.
Oh, this 2025.
And it was, I think, the last film that Rob Reiner directed before he passed away, unfortunately.
Okay. I have to watch this.
But lovely piece of trivia. And another movie I have not seen, but that's 3 on 3 for all your questions so far. None of the films I've seen, but great pieces of trivia nonetheless. Okay. You know what? I'm going to tell you about a film that I think you would probably have not seen, but it relates to a hopefully new piece of trivia, or at least an interesting piece of trivia for you.
Okay.
Do you know which film was, as a lot of films are when they're distributed, they are not distributed under their original name for secrecy purposes, for it not be leaked? So which film was distributed under the name Wardrobe?
If I were to guess, was it something like Hairspray?
Think of a film which has a lot to do with outfits.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Great guess. That would have been my first guess as well. But no, not Devil Wears Prada. I am referring to a movie which has literally, again, it's not the most famous of films. It is what, quote unquote, people call chick flick.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen this particular one, but I do like the genre in general. This one stars Catherine Hegel. Hegel? I'm not sure.
40-year-old virgin.
No, like I said, something to do with the outfits.
Which is the one where she was pregnant?
Is it Knocked Up?
Yeah, Knocked Up. I think it's Knocked Up.
No, not Knocked Up either.
Never liked Catherine Hegel much. I just find her performances a little disingenuous to me, but I don't know. Wow, I think that's all the Catherine Hegel films that I know.
Okay, you know what? Perhaps not the most important piece of trivia associated with this, but the film is 27 Dresses.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of the movie. I've not seen it. I've never seen the movie. So
apparently, the wardrobe team on the film struggled to find dresses which fit her badly because she was so in shape that all outfits looked great on her.
Yeah, now that's a problem you should be having. That's the kind of problem I would like.
Wouldn't we all love that?
Yeah.
But okay, not the trivia in question. Now, the basis of this film, or the idea behind this film, or the synopsis, or the one-line summary of this film is something that was inspired by an ad back in the 1920s. Or the idea was popularized by an ad back in the 1920s. What is the idea behind this film, if you know? And what ad am I referring to back in the 1920s?
So there's an idea behind the movie 27 Dresses, which came from an advertisement in the 1920s.
So this is an idea that has been there in the zeitgeist for however long. It didn't originate with the ad, but it was popularized by this ad.
I haven't watched the movie, but if I remember the plot synopsis, she's somebody who's always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Perfect. That is exactly the idea. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
She's been a bridesmaid 27 times. She's never been the bride. That was basically the synopsis of the film.
Okay.
So what ad am I talking about?
I was listening to Stuff You Should Know. I was listening to one of their earlier episodes in which they had mentioned that there were ads when they started advertising deodorants. So you can come closer, that kind of thing. Was it something like that? Or a perfume?
Two things, Stuff You Should Know, amazing podcast. But in this case, no, we are not talking about deodorant, but you're very, very close. Pun intended. You are very close.
So something of that same as toothpaste, mouthwash.
Mouthwash is the answer. Perfect. So this is a Listerine ad from the 20s, which popularized the idea, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, because you have bad odor coming from your mouth.
Halitosis.
Halitosis, an idea which didn't exist before that, which is not a medical term to begin with. Literally, Listerine came up with halitosis to sell Listerine.
Wow.
There was no such thing as halitosis before that, and the ad geniuses behind it were like, you know what, let's give it a name. Of course, people knew of bad breath. It's just that it didn't have a name as such, and halitosis made it sound like it's a thing that needs to be addressed. It's a medical issue that needs to be addressed, and Listerine with its chemical formula is here to save your day and save your life and get you to be the bride now.
On the same episode, they were saying that apparently body odor didn't used to be a social taboo thing until the 50s, it seems. That's why people started explaining deodorants and antiperspirants.
Okay, I'm obviously not a historian by any means, but I would imagine body odor would always have been a thing. Like if somebody does have very strong body odor, and sometimes it is a medical condition, that would have been socially unacceptable or made you a pariah of sorts. But perhaps when things just don't have a commonly accepted sort of way to speak about it, the idea that it's called BO, body odor, I think maybe that gave it
possible
a corporeal form.
So 27 Dresses, the idea was from a Listerine commercial.
Back in the 20s. Now, that's not where the phrase first came. I think it came from some other song, maybe a couple of decades ago. But Listerine made this idea. And it's not just 27 Dresses. A lot of places, a lot of spaces, you'll hear of this concept of like, oh, she's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But it isn't always used in the context of bad breath. It's sometimes like, oh, she just has bad luck, or she's not the chosen one, or yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But it all came from this idea of bad breath. Yeah. Listerine just making everybody conscious of how bad their breath smells.
Wow. Nice question. Very nice question. I did not know that. So, Listerine. was responsible for half the bridal industry now.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay, very nice. So I'm going to ask my last question for the day. This I am guaranteeing, I know for a fact that you will be able to answer this like in 2 seconds. But I just found this trivia so fascinating that I was like, I have to ask it on this podcast. Okay. So in the late 1950s, a devastating famine
Mhm.
triggered by bamboo flowering and the resulting rat plague ravaged the Lushai Hills,
Okay.
giving rise to a relief movement that soon evolved into the Mizo National Front under their leader Laldenga.
Okay.
This is in Mizoram, present day Mizoram.
Hmm.
What followed was a prolonged insurgency, including a dramatic uprising in 1966, marked by the brief capture of key towns and cross border operations into Myanmar.
Okay.
2 decades later, at the height of the conflict, when the rebel leadership was effectively holding the Indian state to ransom, X executed a covert operation by infiltrating the Mizo National Army's leadership network and quietly turning 6 of Laldenga's 7 closest aides.
Wow.
With the insurgency fractured from within, Laldenga was forced to negotiate, leading to the landmark peace accord of 1986. So, my question is, who was X?
What was the time period?
1986. The 1980s, basically.
Right now, I don't know because I guess Dhurandhar. Is it Ajit Doval by any chance?
Yes, it is Ajit Doval.
Oh, okay.
I found the story fascinating. Okay, just imagine. We watched the movie. Obviously, some parts of it is real, some part of it is fiction. We don't know what is what, but it's a good movie. So we watch it for its merit. But the fact that this man talks about infiltrating the very core of the terrorism in Pakistan and all, this is a guy who's actually done something similar. Ajit Doval, operating under the code name Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. He hosted key leaders of the Mizo National Army at his residence in Aizawl for private dinners and strategic conversations. These gatherings allowed him to build trust and subtly persuade 6 out of Laldenga's 7 closest commanders and aides, including notable figures like Lian Sanga and Tom Funga. Excuse my pronunciation. He basically convinced them to defect from the insurgency. This infiltration occurred while Laldenga, the MNF founder and exile leader, operated from camps within Myanmar. Doval's personal approach, which was marked by cultural sensitivity and direct engagement, fractured the organization's inner circle, leaving Laldenga isolated and vulnerable. In January 1986, Doval extended a formal invitation for Laldenga to initiate direct talks with Indian authorities, signaling a pathway to negotiations. These efforts culminated in the historic Mizoram Peace Accord, signed on June 30th, 1986, between Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and Laldenga in New Delhi. The signing was broadcast live on national television, symbolizing the end of 20 years of violence. The accord granted Mizoram full statehood, effective February 20th, 1987, a general amnesty for over 3,700 militants who surrendered their arms, and rehabilitation packages, transforming Mizoram from a conflict zone into one of India's most peaceful states with a very high literacy rate of 91% and low crime.
Oh, nice.
Because one man infiltrated the very core of terrorism in Mizoram. Not terrorism, obviously they were, I don't know what to call them, an insurgency.
Fair. All right, interesting.
I thought that was a good question to put in there. You know?
I've seen some clips of Ajit Doval talking about the time when he was in Pakistan also. So I think he has some experience there as well.
Okay, I wanted to add that to this question, but because I don't have like authoritative sources on it, I haven't. The story is that he spent some 6-7 years in Pakistan. And story goes, again, I don't know if this is true or not, that he used to sit or basically lounge near barber shops close to where Pakistan's nuclear research was going on. And he used to collect the hair clippings of the scientists who were...
to see how much radiation they're exposed to.
Yeah, the isotopes could be detected in the hair. So the concentration of isotopes and the timeline of that could be detected from the hair.
Oh.
So apparently he gathered that and that was analyzed by Indian scientists. And apparently that helped in slowing down their nuclear program. Again, I don't know if this is true.
You know what? I don't care if it's true or not. It's a great, fun story, right? Like, of course, don't take it as fact if it doesn't have any corroboration.
Yeah.
But it's a great story. And here's what I realized recently. Somebody articulated it to me and I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. I was like, oh, Dhurandhar is a good film. And they're like, but Dhurandhar is not a spy film. And I was like, that is so true. Dhurandhar is just a gang film. It's that.
Yeah, it's a crime film.
It's a crime film. Because he doesn't do any spy stuff in it. Like literally the only thing he does is like, I've sent information to India. You don't even find out how he has sent it. He's doing it via this other guy who he leaves one note for. Literally the only spy thing we see him do is leave a note at one point and pass some information. Unlike other spy films where you're like, oh my God, that is such a smart way. Like when you just said this, even if it's not true, it would make for such a great novel or for such a great movie moment where you're like, he figures out how to calculate the isotopes and the chemicals that they're working with the hair. Now that is some ingenious stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ranveer Singh is just doing some gang stuff, right? Like, oh, let's kill that person, let's kill that person. Which is fun for a gang film. It's not a spy film.
The classical, the oldest spy thing or trick that you can talk about is clearly depicted in the movie. Disappearing ink. How could you forget that? That's the oldest spy trope in the book.
That is so lame. Like, I think that is one of the lamest things that the whole movie did, which was like, oh, I'm going to secretly write in this and that disappearing ink. That was super lame. But what I do think, Durandar 2, whatever it's called, Revenge or something it's called, from whatever rushes and trailers that have been visible, you see when he's training for it and stuff. So I guess that might bring in the spy angle more of how he prepared not being a Baloch, how did he prepare to become a Baloch, and the smarts required for that. Now that's where I'm like, oh, okay, that's a smart character that I am interested to know more about.
I'm fairly sure that they have inserted certain things in the first movie which will bear fruit in the second.
I hope so. First film just felt like a gang warfare film.
Yeah.
The second film will have the spy element, hopefully.
No, it's a crime film with spies.
Yeah, it has a spy at the center of it, but it's a crime film. Yeah. Fair enough. Good film though. And Ajit Doval, very interesting. Yeah. Cool piece of information associated to the man.
Yeah.
Quite a colorful life he's led if all the stories are to be believed.
There are some fun stories which I'm keeping aside for others.
So, moving on to my piece of trivia. This is going to be my last question, though I might have a final question to tie things up together.
Oh, God.
But
okay.
The last official question is, again, a list. Tell me what this is an exhaustive list of.
Okay.
What are these categories for?
Okay.
First is pure, then is best, then is super, and the last is Silvertip.
Pure, best, super, and Silvertip.
Correct.
These are all categories of something.
Yes.
Not leather. Silvertip. This is an exhaustive list.
These are the 4 categories, and I've given it to you in increasing order. So pure is the lowest, and Silvertip is the highest.
4 categories.
Pure, best, super, Silvertip.
I need a clue.
Okay, fair enough. This has to do with an animal in a tangential way, or rather in an adjacent way. If I was talking about the meat cuts in a cow, right? I'd be like, oh, this particular part is the sirloin or strip loin or whatever. There are various parts and they're all given various names.
Yeah.
This has to do with another animal and with a different anatomy, not the meat on the animal, but a different part of their anatomy. So animal, a part of their anatomy, these are the different gradations of that anatomy.
It's not a cow you mentioned now.
Not a cow, not even meat of an animal. It's not a cow, it's a different animal. It's not meat of that animal, it's a different part of their body.
Is it a tusk?
Good guess. I would say pretty warm. Yeah, getting there. The Silvertip should lead you there. I think that's how you got to tusk, but Silvertip should lead you to what it is, which isn't tusk.
Horse tails.
Ooh, very, very close. Horse tails are also relevant to this question, but we haven't gotten there yet. Very, very close. You're practically there. What part of the body are you talking about?
The tail, basically. So then
not the tail, but
the trunk?
No, I didn't mean like which end of the animal.
Why would you grate trunks?
Hey, listen, you can grate tongue. Somebody might want to grate trunks, man. Like, just
hoofs, horse hoofs.
It's not a horse, by the way. I'm so sorry. Horse is not the animal in question. I'll tell you how horse tail hair is relevant.
Okay.
But you practically said what it was, right? Like horse tail. So why would you say tail when you hear Silvertip? What part of the tail?
The tip of the tail. I mean, like the hair, the tail hair is in.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fur.
Fur. But this is for a specific animal.
Okay.
Do you know which animal I'm talking about?
Is it like a beaver or something?
I'll give it to you. It's a badger. It's not a beaver. It's a badger.
It's a badger. Okay. A badger.
So the pure part of the pure gradation is given to the hair from the underbelly of a badger.
Okay.
And Silvertip is the rarest part of the body, or rather the least amount of hair on a badger. And it is the most coveted part of the fur. So why is it given this gradation? Where is the fur of a badger used?
Hats? Like caps, fur caps?
Decent guess, but no.
Brushes. Paint brushes.
Warmer.
Beard brushes.
What do you mean by beard brush?
So you get those kind of small things with natural fur hair that you use to comb through your beard.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the beard expert, so I don't want to challenge you too much on it. But I'm not talking about. It has something to do with beards, but not a brush, not a beard brush.
Fake beards.
No. What do you do with beards? I mean, you haven't done it in a while, but what do most people do with beards?
You trim your beard. You trim your beard.
You don't even trim it. Like, okay, fine, you can trim your beard, but what do most people do when they want to?
They shave their beard. Oh, this is a shaving brush. A shaving brush.
Shaving brushes are traditionally made out of badger fur, badger hair.
Oh my God.
And these are the 4 gradations of badger hair shaving brushes. So there are alternatives also, and you very coincidentally mentioned one of them. The horse's tail hair can also be used in some of the brushes, but a badger hair is specifically used. I had no idea. Badger hair is specifically used in shaving brushes classically. So all shaving brushes, at least the classical ones or the traditional ones, have only had exclusively badger hair on them. And these are the gradations of it. We start with pure, which is the most common form of the hair or common hair. And then we go to best, super, and silvertip, which is the rarest type of badger hair. And these are gradations of shaving brush.
Okay. I'm waiting for the punchline.
Oh, that's a punchline. It's interesting. Did you know that shaving brushes are made out of badger hair? What do you mean? Punchline.
No. I'm guessing that you have a reason for talking about badgers for so long. By the way, you should probably mention what a badger is to people who don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know how to explain exactly what a badger is. Best to look it up. It kind of is from the skunk family or the weasel family.
Oh, okay.
Similar to those animals. That's what I'm getting off of a quick glance of Wikipedia. Probably recognize it if you see it. So yeah, all the shaving brushes that you probably see in your barber shop, if they're not made synthetically, because there are synthetic ones available as well, the traditional ones, the natural ones, have always been made using badger hair. And I thought that was interesting, even if Vineet doesn't agree.
No, I mean, like, it's interesting. I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to figure out what the connection is, because I'm fairly sure you've been asking these questions with an agenda.
Hey, listen, I think it was revealed in the last episode that I do think of the title of the episode beforehand. I have an episode title in mind already. Do you want to take a guess as to what the episode title is?
Reduplication, badger hair, 27 dresses, Listerine.
I'm going to give you one quick question to wrap all of it together. Okay, this is a different piece of trivia. Have you heard of this insanely cool person called Dean Mohammed?
Dean Mohammed.
Yeah.
Name seems familiar, but I can't place it. Shampoo.
Oh my God, that was very quick. Well, shampoo is the connection I was going for. Let me just tell you what the piece of trivia, since you have ruined this question for me now.
Okay, yeah.
Dean Mohammed was a British Indian traveler, soldier, surgeon, entrepreneur, and one of the most notable early non-European immigrants to the Western world. He introduced Indian cuisine to Europe, literally to England. Like, he was one of the first few people to start selling chicken tikka masala, or I mean, I don't know if it was chicken tikka masala specifically, but Indian cuisine to the white people was introduced by Dean Mohammed, who was, by the way, born in Patna and at some point over the course of his life found himself in the UK. What, apart from Indian cuisine, did Dean Mohammed introduce to Europe or to England specifically?
Shampoo from Champu.
Exactly.
The name was very familiar to me, but I couldn't place it immediately.
The idea of shampoo or champi was something that Dean Mohammed, it's very cool, the number of things. He's also, guess what? He's also the first Indian to publish a book in English. At least some sources give him credit for that. So, such a interesting variety of firsts that he has achieved, like the first Indian restaurant, Indian cuisine introduction to British people, and shampoo baths back over there in Europe, and also the first book in English written by an Indian person. So a lot of firsts for this guy.
Nice.
Very cool. A little forgotten in history, but worth reading up on him. A very interesting person from Patna. And now, do you know what the title of the episode is, Vineet?
Reduplicating hair using shampoo.
Also known as lather, rinse, repeat.
Oh. Oh, okay. Lather, rinse, repeat. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. Give it a second. Yeah, definitely. This is really good. Really good. Lather, rinse, repeat.
You
Nice,
lather
nice.
with a shaving brush, you rinse with the mouthwash, and reduplication is nothing but repeating the word. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Okay. So, as we wind up the episode, the question that I asked at the beginning of today's episode, the audience question was the rookie, the high roller, the grease man, the basher, the eye in the sky, the getaway, the bankroll, the inside man, the detail man, the idea man, the getaway. Connect.
You said the getaway twice, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Is it like the Ocean's 11?
It is Ocean's 11. It's Ocean's 11. So you have two getaway drivers, hence the getaway twice.
Ah,
There
okay.
are two wheelmen in the movie, right? So that's why. So all of these are the descriptions for the characters. The rookie was played by Matt Damon, so that kind of thing. So these are the descriptions of the characters who make up the Ocean's 11 heist team. You cracked that very quickly. So let's wrap it up. What's your pop culture recommendation for this week?
Thank God I'd seen at least one film in today's list of trivia. Well, not very common for me, but I'll recommend a book. And that is by perhaps my favorite Indian author.
Mm-hmm. High praise.
Or at least the Indian author that I have read the most, at least. And that is Ruskin Bond. And his book, Death Under the Deodars, is a collection of, not really murder mysteries, but murder seems to happen around a character. If Miss Marple was not really a detective, but just happened to be around, murders happening.
Yeah, Miss Marple wasn't really a detective, she was just a nosy old lady.
But at least she had the skills for a detective, or she was just like an amateur detective, I guess.
Okay.
In this case, this lead character who goes by the name of Miss Ripley Bean doesn't even have the skills for it, but just has fantastic memory and a great storytelling skill. So she'll just be recounting stories of crimes and murders that she has seen.
Nice.
And Death Under the Deodars is a bunch of those stories woven together. Ruskin Bond, just love his writing. I don't know what is it about the way he writes. It always feels so close. Like it just feels like somebody is sitting next to you and telling you a story. I remember reading Room on the Roof for the first time, and I was a teenage boy, and it's about a teenage boy. It's written by a teenage boy.
Yeah.
Ruskin Bond himself has said that he has never wanted to revise the book because he wrote it as a teenager or very close to being a teenager. I think he was like 18, 19 when he wrote it. And he didn't want to change the tone of that writing, even though he would probably write it very differently now in his later stage of his life. So Ruskin Bond, Room on the Roof, Vagrants in the Valley, a bunch of his short stories, all of them are so good. Death Under the Deodars is the recent one I read. So go read some Ruskin Bond. And he doesn't meet people anymore.
He's in his 90s.
Yeah, he used to go to a bookstore nearby in Landor,
Okay.
Missouri. He used to go there, some bookstore. It's been a lifelong dream to go meet him and just, one of those people you want to go say thank you to. Ruskin Bond would be that for me. So, I hope I get to meet him someday and say it to his face. But if not, putting it out in the universe, thank you, Ruskin Bond, for writing great books.
If I'm correct, again, this is just a nitpicky thing. He's not technically Indian. He's a quarter Indian.
He's an Indian citizen.
Origin, not technically.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I say anything about his race? I said an Indian author.
Okay. ठीक है. Chalo. So, my pop culture recommendation for this week is this really easily bingeable show I watched the other day. 6 episodes. It went by in a flash and I really enjoyed it. It's called Steel. It's available on Prime Video, Amazon Prime. It talks about a heist that happens at a big financial firm. And the lead actress is Sophie Turner, aka Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones. And she practically ate, to use the Gen Z alpha terminology. She did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed the series, watched it in one setting. So I would recommend Steel. And then for those of you who are not acquainted with some of the other movies that we discussed in, I would recommend that you go please watch True Lies. It is a fantastic movie. One of Arnie's best films ever. And Terminator 2 Judgment Day by James Cameron. RRR and Bahubali the Epic by S.S. Rajmouli. I recommend that you watch all of these. There are other movies in Rajmouli's oeuvre that you may also enjoy, may not enjoy. But you can go back and watch those as well. Some things like Iga, Vikramarkudu and all those, right? So that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you all for listening in. And please follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, just click the follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast on. Please rate us on Spotify or whichever platform that you're listening to. You can reach out to us on our socials. You can send questions that you want asked on the show. Just send it to areyouquizzingme@gmail.com. Just make sure to put the name of the quizmaster in the subject line. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. See you guys next week.
Trivia. I don't know. I have to come up with a new catchphrase now. We need to make my life harder. Okay, fine. I'll do it. We're going to edit all of this out. We're going to edit all of this out because I have enough flack from people about how I don't watch enough South Indian films.